time to get out and play. AMSOIL delivers the ultimate protection for your vehicles and equipment. Fast, free shipping right to your door. Spend $100 and shipping is on us. Order now at AMSOIL.com.
Alright guys, working on the Ironhead again. First thing I had to do is I'm gonna make me a tool to get these out. So just taking some flat bar and then rounding some edges to fit down in here. That should allow me to put a wrench on there, adjustable, and then twist it around. Alright guys, so here's my little piece of metal that's kind of rounded the edges. And this actually kind of locks into place on it, almost like grabs it a little bit. So it's got a little bit of play in there, but pretty much anywhere I put it, it's getting into this curve. I'm just gonna kind of lock it into place straight ahead, and you can almost break it loose with your hand if it wasn't staying tight. But once that's in there, I'm gonna take my adjustable wrench, put it on the side, and then just break it. All right, see if I can break it here. Oh, there it goes. And then it didn't scar it up any. You can tell it's been done a couple times with other things, but it'll go right in there pretty nicely. And that's a little bit tighter. I'll take 2 hands. All right, so in these, that was 1/4 inch plate that I used there. That's about how thick that is, and it worked perfect. And the main nut here, that's your adjuster, that's your lockdown to the adjuster, but that is going to be a 13/16. And then all of these are actually just Phillips head in this bike. So let's keep going. All right, first thing we want to do is bust that nut loose right there, and that's your drain for the primary and the transmission. It's all together on these. So a little bit past the kickstand here, and go ahead and pull that out, drain out all the fluid in here. And it looks to be dripping a little bit on this one, so kind of nasty. Look at that brown sludge. It looks pretty dang thick pouring out of here. And this was the plug, which is a bolt. This is not the original plug, but it worked. It's an odd shape. I don't know if that's a normal bolt you can buy, but it was 3/4. But it should have a magnet and everything in there, and then the O-ring looks kind of rough. So definitely put the O-ring on there, and just pray this thing don't leak. Golly, look at that stuff. That is some nasty junk there. All right, the nut to the foot peg here was 3/4, and then this is a 3/16 Allen head that goes in there. And then this will come out off of there. There we go. So now, just gotta bust these loose, which I'll pull this off. All right, guys, now loosening these, I already loosened this one. I had a little bit of play in the head. I did get it to break loose cleanly. This one's actually pretty good bit tighter. Just make sure that you're actually pushing it in the whole time, because when you try to break this thing, it's gonna take a lot of force. And then there it broke. I really don't like having Phillips head for this much torque, but this is what it is. I guess at some point in time I could have these switched out for some socket head Allen wrench style bolts, but that's it. Yank all those out. All right, all the Phillips heads are out. There's 2 shorter ones that go here. That's pretty easy to remember. And you also have this nut down here, which is a 9/16. All right, everything is loose. I'm gonna start trying to break the case loose. And it may already be coming, but just kind of, yeah, work it off here one at a time. I got the pan back under it there just in case any more oil drops out. All right, guys, so here is the spring compressor. This is actually a pulley puller, and it's clipped right on the edge. If you have a bigger one, you can go to the back. You don't want to put too much stress on this basket because you want to bust it. But it doesn't take a whole lot, but you want to compress the springs enough to back these off safely and then release that spring pressure. Could be dangerous. I'm gonna knock this in just a little bit, and I'm actually gonna use the D-wall here. 7/16 on all these to zip them off real quick and then release that spring pressure because I don't want to put any stress on this. There's also braces that you can make or buy and do something. I've seen a dude use a ratchet strap around the whole thing. I think this will work, so I'm going to try it and get everything pulled off. I also have the new clutch plates in oil right now, soaking for a little bit just to get some on. This is a dry clutch system, so they don't have to soak overnight, I wouldn't think. For me, if it's a dirt bike or something, maybe, but not for this. So we'll get this pulled off and then see what it looks like. The first thing I'm going to do is use the adjustable and just kind of slowly work this in. Like I said, it doesn't have to be a ton. We got to relieve the spring pressure. Just pull it in off of those bolts. Once we get this, lift those others off real quick. I already see it starting to move a little bit there, so I'm gonna work at this a little bit more and then pull those off. All right, push that in pretty far. It didn't have very much tension on it the whole time at all. I'm pulling these off pretty quickly here, if I can get in there. All right, all those are broke loose. I'm gonna start loosening this back up and bringing the tension off of here. You see it slowly kind of working its way out. This outer plate should come off of those studs from the inner part of the basket in there. This is a little scary, but I think we're gonna get it. Let's see. Slowly pulling back. Start to see the springs in there a little bit. There we go, and now you can see it's working the outer plate off now. Bring it on back a little bit more. I'm gonna start taking my time and get off the video. All right, guys, there it is. So there's the two springs there, stacking that plate. And once it got kind of the point of no return, it all just kind of fell off together. All right, so pulling these out is you're essentially just working them out of this inner sleeve around here over the bolts. And there is a clip in here. So we're gonna snap that little ring out of there, and it's not crazy heavy or nothing. Gonna find the open end of it. Where's the open end? Wow. There it goes. Be careful, parts may fly. So now these will just slide out of here. Now this is your outer friction plate, and it only has a friction side on the inside, and this one's gone. So it would have been a good idea for me to pick up one of these, but I didn't. So That'll be okay. But we got a metal plate next. We just gotta start working these out. One by one. Come on. They get a little sticky. There we go. Hey! So, there's your metal plate. And usually these are okay. You can tell this one's been a little worn. You can, well, you can sand them a little bit if you'd like, but I'll go through and pull out each one of these. And this is the actual friction plate I'm going to replace. And you can see this is some of the cork material actually coming out. It looks kind of like tobacco or something. Yeah, look at this. So that side's actually not too bad, but this side is missing some major pieces. So we'll get all these out. All right, here is everything out. Got all the plates there, all the metal plates here. This is the inner part of the basket, which I should have just slid out all along, working off each piece, the outer ring there. And I went through and kind of scraped out each one of these holes, try to wipe it and clean it as good as I can. You can see right now the transmission is in neutral, so right now it's not doing anything, but as the engine turns, it turns this outer part, and that doesn't connect to the transmission until this links it together. So this sits on the transmission part in here and would just freewheel, right? And then that's where your metal plates attach to also. The friction plates actually attach to the drive right here. So it's what grabs it onto those metal shims, and then it starts turning over everything as it all clamps together due to those springs. All right, everything's cleaned back up. So now I'm gonna start out by putting this back in and then putting all my sleeves back on, and all those ready to go. Okay, first thing we're gonna do is one of the new plates. So I've had them in this hole for a little while. But, put that on. That'll just kind of do it back. And then we'll do a metal plate. They're all sticking together. Yep. Work that in there, and then these will have to line up in the inner splines, whereas the other ones have to line up on the outer splines. That will drop in. And then another friction plate. There we go. And there we go. There we go. And metal plate. And we do this on and on, back and forth, until we get down to the outer friction plate. Okay. All right, all of my plates are in. The last one is the final outer plate here. Get this on there. There we go. All right, the last thing, you got a little bit of room left for your spring. This will snap back in there. Just work it into the groove. Yep. And then awesome. Okay, everything went back together well. Make sure you clean your gasket surface. New gasket on. The gasket hung right on there. Everything kind of line bug, you know, Jimmy stuff, and right back on. Got everything tightened down. Kind of went crisscross on that. Went in and put the plugs back in. And somebody's boogered up the fill plug. So you normally just take out that plug and fill it up there. And also somebody put an 8/0 front end on this thing, so it's not level. So the best thing to do, these things take 24 ounces. So I gotta say 28. I'm gonna do like 25, 26. And I just pour it out to the exact amount I needed in the quart in order to dip the other clutch plates and new ones in. And now I'm gonna fill it up for the rest of the quart. So it's pretty simple. All right, we're looking good. Don't see any new oil down there besides crap that I still got down there, but everything's cleaned up and on the case, everything's put back. Fresh oil in. I really hadn't turned it over a few times to make sure everything was good and everything seems fine. So now I'm gonna try to crank it.